JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, man killed on Mountain View Avenue, security forces on alert. The security forces are keeping a close watch on sections of Mountain View Avenue in St. Andrew after a man was killed in the community Tuesday morning. He has been identified as 34-year-old Andre Chambers, a resident of Mountain View Avenue. Chambers was at home about 7:30 a.m. when men entered and shot him several times. He was pronounced dead at hospital. Uncertainty persists concerning when face-to-face classes will resume. Just days away from the start of classes for the new school year, the Ministry of Education and Youth has conceded that it is still uncertain when face-to-face instruction will return. Today marks the official start of the academic year, with classes set to begin on Monday, September 6. During a town hall meeting on Tuesday evening, Education Minister Favour Williams said no decision has yet been made on the resumption of face-to-face classes. That is not entirely clear, Mrs. Williams said in reference to the resumption of face-to-face instruction, even as she reiterated that there had been an early expectation. Would love to see face-to-face mode in our high schools in October. She reiterated, however, that this is entirely dependent on what happens in respect of the COVID-19 pandemic. This means classes will at least initially be held using the various distance learning modes. Dr. Grace McLean, acting permanent secretary in the Education Ministry, said meetings are still being held with principals to finalize plans for the new school year. Residents and motorists call for urgent repairs to Victoria Main Road in Clarendon Northwestern. Motorists and pedestrians say they fear for their lives when traversing the Gloucester section of Victoria Main Road in Clarendon. Following heavy rains from Tropical Storm Ida last week, more than half of the road crumbled when the banking collapsed, leaving just a sliver for single-lane traffic. The road was initially badly damaged when Tropical Storm Zeta dumped heavy rain on the island in October last year. O'Neill Mitchell, a resident of Thompson Town, said that the road is in need of urgent repair. When the rain fall hard, you can see water gush out over the road. So we are pleading with the MP, or whoever must deal with this. We need it fixed, he said, adding that if the road is not repaired quickly, many people will be marooned. If we ever get rain like we happened the other day, everything will go gone. Right now, if you look down, everything tear we gone. And it's because of this road that drop off and wash go down. Everything take them time to go right down there, so, he said, pointing to a ravine. In October 2020, MP for Clarendon Northwestern Philip Enriquez said the damage caused by heavy rains associated with Tropical Storm Zeta had caused extensive damage in the constituency, and noted that the breakaway along Gloucester was probably the worst in the parish. But it has since worsened, leaving the edge of the road ragged and resembling the edge of a cliff, causing fear among motorists. People in this area are more interested in this road more than them yard. This road is a main alternative route. This road carry you every out of here. It carry us Paulins, Maypen, Christiana, Key Valley, Ochi, Mobie, and enough other place. Everybody don't have to use it. But for people in the area and those from Thompson Town, at this road we have to use. If I even figure out town, I hear some people have to drive, said Mitchell. When the road did break away off for the first time this year after the bad rain, a guy further up gave people a little pass through. But no access not there anymore. The man block it off. It is the man's property, so him block it off, he added. One taxi operator, who gave his name only as Wilson, said that he takes a chance daily to transport passengers over what is left of the road. This really not safe. It is not safe for you to drive this road every day, but people have places to go. It is a risk we have to take for you to drive over this road, but we have to because people have business. People don't just sit down in a Thompson Town every day. People in and out. And as a taxi driver, me can't just get up and say me not drive the side there. We in a pandemic and time hard. Me have to do what me have to do, he said. It's just a matter of time before the whole thing collapse. And what we are going to do? We just hope that when that happen, nobody know the panic cause that will be a sure death. Some of them like them to do something for real this time. Last year them they do never make no sense. Not much was done, Wilson added. While assessing the damaged road last year, Enriquez had said that the National Works Agency was working in the constituency and that private people had been contracted to help remove the blockages as quickly as possible. Another resident said businesses that normally use large trucks or other vehicles to transport goods are particularly affected. Big truck, everything can travel from this route. You have a lot of business places further up, hardware, wholesale and couple shop. Everybody have used this road to go up that side, the man said. Like the MP last year, he attributed the road damage to a lack of proper drainage in the Illy constituency. We need somewhere for the water to run off under the road. We need a few too, because the road can't manage the pressure of the water when the rain really fall. We can't have runoff and mudslide and everything coming down from up the hills on the road. And that mash up the road, he said. Nestor Carter officially announced his retirement from track and field. Jamaican Olympic gold medalist and the 8th fastest man in history, Nestor Carter, has officially retired from track and field. In a statement, the 35-year-old Carter said he was no longer able to give his best to the sport. From my humble beginnings, as an 18-year-old running the 100 meters in 10.56 at track meets in Jamaica, to the pinnacle of athletic performance in 2012, where I ran the first leg on the Jamaican 4x100 relay team at the London Olympics, winning gold and setting the still-standing world record of 36.84. I have always given my best, the statement read. I am no longer able to give my best as an athlete to the sport that I know and love. As a result, and for other reasons, I am announcing my retirement from track and field as an athlete. Carter also revealed that his decision was influenced by an undisclosed medical condition, which he said has prevented him from training and competing since March of this year. He also shared that medication prescribed by his doctor to treat his condition breaches anti-doping rules. Faced with the choice to choose between his health and career, he said he chose his health. Carter, who hails from Banana Ground, the birthplace of the fastest woman alive, Elaine Thompson, expresses gratitude to all those who have played a part in developing his talent. I end my career with a personal best of 9.78 seconds over 100 meters, which places me among the best to have competed. Deadly trio, murders, crashes and COVID claim nearly 2,500 lives. The triple threat of COVID-19, murders and motor vehicle crashes have claimed the lives of at least 2,464 persons in Jamaica since the start of the year. COVID-19 has claimed 1,215 lives since January 1. Another 935 are murder victims, and 314 have died as a result of motor vehicle crashes. Dr. Andrew Manning, president of the Medical Doctors Association, said that the grim statistics show the level of pressure to which the public health sector has been subjected to for the past 2 years. He said incidents of trauma, interpersonal violence, and motor vehicle accidents are too high. These factors can be avoided, and they have placed the health sector under severe strain and pressure. Most recently, of course, COVID-19 has exacerbated it, and these are things we should be able to bring under control. But we have to get all Jamaicans involved and accept that we have to behave in a way that can ultimately decrease the pressure on the healthcare system, Manning said. The 935 murders, as of Saturday, is a 9.7% increase when compared with the corresponding period in 2020. The 314 crash victims represent a 7% increase when compared with the corresponding period in 2020. A staggering 93 of those deaths have taken place during curfew hours. The virus has claimed 1,518 persons since last March. We speak about things like flattening the curve, and in order to do this, people have to be compliant with the measures as laid out under the Disaster Risk Management Act, such as wearing your mask, social distancing, sanitizing, and avoid illegal gatherings. I know people are tired of hearing these measures, but if everybody were to comply based on how the virus spreads, as it is from person to person, we would find that the numbers would come down, Manning said. Even before we achieve herd immunity, if we could get a certain number of people vaccinated in a medium term, we could see a decrease in those infected. 351 new COVID cases, 31 more deaths. Jamaica on Tuesday recorded 351 new cases of COVID-19 and 31 additional deaths. This brings the total number of confirmed cases to 68,482 and the death toll to 1,549. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the deaths occurred between August 23 and August 30. The deaths comprise a 40-year-old man, an 82-year-old woman, a 53-year-old man, a 79-year-old woman, an 86-year-old woman, and a 77-year-old woman from Kingston and St. Andrew. A 73-year-old man from Kingston and St. Andrew whose death was previously under investigation. a 65-year-old woman, a 70-year-old man, a 72-year-old woman, an 84-year-old man, an 89-year-old woman, a 61-year-old man, and a 75-year-old man from St. Anne, a 65-year-old woman, a 78-year-old woman, a 58-year-old man, a 62-year-old man, and a 94-year-old woman from St. Catherine, a 51-year-old woman and a 42-year-old man from St. Elizabeth, a 97-year-old woman, a 72-year-old woman, a 69-year-old woman, and a 63-year-old man from St. Thomas, an 86-year-old woman from St. Mary, a 23-year-old woman, a 51-year-old man, a 37-year-old woman, a 52-year-old woman, a 71-year-old woman, all from Westmoreland. Of the 351 newly reported cases, there were 183 females and 168 males with ages ranging from 54 days to 97 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew, 96, St. Catherine, 52, St. Thomas, 34, Westmoreland, 32, St. James, 31, St. Elizabeth, 25, Clarendon, 23, Manchester, 17, Hanover and Trelawney, 14 each, St. Anne, 10, and Portland, 3. The country also recorded 93 recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 48,402. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.